As the state begins to implement changes that came out of the recent legislative session, some cities are planning how to spend millions in state dollars to help their communities grow and respond to that growth.
I solemnly swear.
Brooklyn Park Mayor Hollis Winston was barely on the job for 2 days when this year's legislative session began.
We got a little bit of a late start when it came to the legislative agenda, so we're going to get a much earlier start.
Still, the city came out of the state budget process and the bonding bill with several $1 million to use for work the mayor says is critical.
What we're seeing with youth, we need to invest a lot more to make sure they have positive places to go, positive things to do.
The city received $5 million to invest in the Community Activity Center. As for those from out of town who may come to Brooklyn Park, the Mississippi Gateway Regional Park received $3 million. Officials broke ground just last week on several improvements, including a treetop canopy walk.
It's right off the Mississippi, so it's perfect, but we've been underinvested in as a region. So all of those are investments, future investments, right, that are going to allow us to kind of grow into the city we need to be. But it's not just about our city. It's providing a level of regional infrastructure that we've just kind of been missing as an area.
The city is also working on plans to rebuild its central fire station. It will get more than $1 million this year to begin the design process.
It comes with the price tag, but if you realize that regionally we serve a purpose.
And the city can start to make plans to reconstruct the intersection of Highway 169 and 109th Avenue near the busy school zones. Winston says navigating this year's legislative process will help him in the coming years lobby for project dollars that benefit not just his city, but others in the northwest suburbs too.
We're able to use our resources better, right? So instead of saying, well, everything needs to be here within my city, we can look across other cities and strategically say, you're going to have this resource, we'll have this resource, and then we can leverage that to be much more efficient and make a better argument at the Capitol.
A woman in Golden Valley is recovering from a broken arm after fending off a group of carjackers. This all happened last Tuesday near 6400 Westchester Circle. According to police, a woman in her 80s was working on her lawn when a group of 5 teenagers in a vehicle stopped in front of her home. As they approached her, she tried to close her garage door. The teens demanded her car keys, and in the following struggle, they pushed her. Police say she fell and broke her arm. The victim screamed. Police say the teens fled the scene, did not steal the vehicle. Police later discovered the car the teens were driving was stolen, and that was recovered in St. Paul.
It just kind of goes to show you that, we've got a group of teenagers in this area who really don't respect anybody of any age, which is very concerning.
Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies patrol Golden Valley in the daytime hours because of staffing challenges. County deputies are continuing to investigate this incident. The largest hospital in the Northwest Metro now has some new equipment that's designed to improve patient care and help save lives. Here's Delane Cleveland with the story.
Rusty, I'm in North Memorial Health Hospital in Robbinsdale. The helicopters here respond to more than 2,600 emergencies per year. Now they have 2 brand new helicopters to add to their air fleet.
We felt that they're the most modern technology for what we needed. They're very similar to an ambulance. They serve our population well.
North Memorial recently acquired 2 Airbus H-135 helicopters, which are considered as the market leader in emergency medical services. Officials here say the new helicopters have ample room for patient care. They have some of the lowest operating and maintenance costs of other twin-engine helicopters, and they're also among the quietest. North Memorial uses air transport throughout Minnesota and the upper Midwest to help with emergencies such as motor vehicle crashes, strokes, and heart attacks. And officials say the acquisition of these helicopters will also help improve safety for patients and the air care team.
It's an aircraft that's designed for EMS missions with a flat floor in the back, clamshell loadings in the back, so it's very easy to load your patient. It's quick and efficient.
So many safety features in you, things that can help with the pilot flying, decrease their stress, and some of the ease of aviation, help the crew in the back to have room and ways to take care of patients. That's been much more efficient for the job we do.
North Memorial now has 9 helicopters in its air care fleet. In addition to the 2 new helicopters, they also have a new training simulator to help the pilots enhance their skills. In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Recreational cannabis stores won't be allowed in Brooklyn Center for more than a year. City Council recently approved a moratorium on cannabis businesses through the end of 2024. Cannabis becomes legal in Minnesota on August 1st, but there are still questions about city control over licensing, and the State Office of Cannabis Management is expected to figure out those details over the next year, and City Council can cancel this moratorium at any time. The Animal Humane Society in Golden Valley recently received some good news to help it care for pets. The Humane Society received a $50,000 grant from the charitable arm of Petco. Officials say one of the biggest needs they hear from pet owners is how to find quality, affordable veterinary care, and the grant will help them provide a range of pet services at lower rates.
Everybody probably is feeling the pressures of inflation and increased costs, and we feel that too at Animal Humane Society. Our supplies cost more, and just operating our facilities costs more.
Animal Humane Society offers a range of pet services at its vet centers, everything from wellness exams and dental care to spay and neuter surgeries. Residents in Robbinsdale can now look up and see their city logo with a fresh coat of paint. The city expects painting of its new water tower to wrap up this week. The project has been a big one. Painting work has taken more than 5 weeks now to complete. The new tower holds 750,000 gallons of water, or about 60% of the water the city uses on a day on average.
The sport of soccer continues to grow, and youth players in Brooklyn Park got a great start to their summer at a recent clinic.
A turnout of over 200 kids is more than what Gordon Ferguson of the Kickers Soccer Club expected on this night.
We partner with BPAA, and we do a spring kickoff clinic every year. And it's just amazing attendance tonight. There's probably roughly about 250 kids out here tonight just having a ball. And it's about the game of soccer. And that brings the kind of world together. It's a world sport, so it brings the community together, and that's exactly what we're trying to target.
The community clinic, with partner Minnesota United FC on hand for a third straight year, instructed players about soccer skills. The Kickers are happy to have the United involved.
And they do amazing things. They just bring it up to a new level, and it's fun to have them out here. PK and part of the academy boys as well that come out and do a lot of the soccer stations, so it's just great.
Kickers FC and the United are also partnering to put on a summer clinic August 14th through the 17th at Noble Sports Park in Brooklyn Park.
As we officially start summer, we head to the lake and hear from our fishing guy, Terry Tuma. This week, Terry offers up some tips on catching walleyes under tough bite conditions.
Just recently got off to river fishing walleyes, and we had sort of a different bite, if you will, where they're really not striking or hitting real hard using a jig and a minnow. There's a couple of things that we can do to prevent that. One is, of course, is using a stinger hook, hooking that stinger on your jig, of course, and along the back part of the minnow. But I opt to not do that because I just felt it was too much unnecessary natural appearance of that minnow. So what I did do is let it sort of trail behind the minnow, not hooked in the minnow. But better than doing that was using a, shall we say, a chewing type of an approach, where I would drop the rod tip down somewhat as soon as I felt the bite, and then let the walleye chew on that minnow and then set the hook. That was extremely productive. The other is how you hook your minnow on the jig. Normally, most people will run that hook through the mouth and up the forehead, but what I opt to do was hook it through the lips. That offered a little bit of larger profile, but also a much better hook set. So give it a try. There's many options we can do for these light bite, finicky walleyes.
The annual High School All-Star Baseball Series is this weekend in Chaska, and a handful of local players are scheduled to appear. Jake Birkeland of Wayzata is the only local player on the Metro West team. Birkeland was an All-Lake Conference infielder this spring for the Section 6 4A runner-up Trojans. 4 players from the area are on the Metro North team. They include 2 players from Section 5 runner-up Champlin Park, Justin Brooks and Andrew Rockow. Also on the team are Jay Krieger from Totino Grace and Spencer Peterson of Osseo. There are 6 teams in the All-Star Series: Metro West, Metro North, Metro East, and Metro South, plus North and South representing northern and southern Minnesota. Games start Friday afternoon at the Chaska Athletic Park. The Metro West and Metro North teams will meet each other at 11:15 Saturday morning. The championship game is Saturday evening at 7:15. And that's all for sports. More CCX News after this.
Looking for local? Even more local? CCX Media gives you the option to connect with your community on multiple levels. CCX Sports brings you ultimate coverage in local prep sports with full game coverage of over 120 high school games a year with highlights and features on our daily newscast. Then, our weekly Sports Jam show gives you a close-up look at local athletes, highlights of local games, and in-depth interviews. Our content can be watched at home or on the go. Visit ccxmedia.org.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.